Hi guys, it's Mark and Melinda again, and today we're going to talk about bubbles. We're going to go 2006 bubble versus 2021 bubble. So Mark, why don't you start by telling us what is a bubble?
So a bubble is anytime you have a steep rise in home prices with the belief that they're going to keep going up, but also fear that they're going to drop and we're going to have a bubble pop.
All right, tell me about that 2006 bubble.
So a lot of that was based on speculation and false information. You also had a lot of stated income loans, which were people were getting loans on houses they really couldn't afford in hopes that they could go back and refinance a little bit later. And when the bubble popped, they were all in houses that they couldn't afford.
So, big question right now, are we in a bubble?
Well, we're definitely seeing an increase in prices. But we're also, it's not quite like 2006 because I think we're more in a supply-demand kind of thing right now. We don't have a lot of supply and demand is extremely high. And also you factor that in with, we have very low interest rates. So it's a interesting situation.
It definitely is. So the big question is, will we pop?
Well, the difference in this one in 2006 is that you actually have to qualify for your home this time.
Very true.
It's a lot more difficult to get a home these days than it was in 2006. So most people that are in their homes now have actually qualified for their house and can afford it.
Let's look at what would happen if we continued to rent instead of buying something. So let's assume we have a really modest rent in Orange County, like $2,500 a month. That's a $30,000 a year guaranteed loss, regardless of what happens within housing prices. On top of that, we lose the ability to take the tax benefits, and we also lose the principal pay down. So you can actually weather a much bigger drop in housing prices than the guaranteed loss that you have from renting.
So how can we protect ourselves?
Well, good question. One of the things you mentioned earlier, make sure that you get in a house that you can afford.
Right.
Don't buy something that crunches your budget, and make sure that that house actually matches for you. Like if you like to garden, make sure it has a garden. If you're a foodie, make sure it has a kitchen that can work for you. If you like to entertain, make sure that it has entertaining space. And then you'll be able to weather any little blips that we might hit in the market as we go along.
And if you guys have any other questions, don't hesitate to reach out. We're always here to help.